Okay, now we have the cash flow pyramid, and the I in the at the top of the pyramid stands for investment or investor. Unlike the cash flow quadrant, where the I is in the lower right hand corner, what I want to emphasize here is that the mindset is that you need to look at yourself as a banker and investor first, and an employee, self-employed, and business owner secondary. You can be all four things at the same time, but you should consider yourself an investor, and you're an investor the minute you go out and buy an ounce of silver or a gram of gold or an ounce of gold. So just keep in mind, this is covered in another video, but gold and silver is an asset class. It's considered a commodity. It's an asset class. The U.S. dollar is an asset. It's a paper asset. All assets are paper with the exception of commodities and precious metals. Gold and silver is a considered an asset. So the idea here is, and what I want to stress on the cash flow quadrant real quick, is that when I first saw it, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, was that the first thing I want to mention with Robert Kiyosaki made a, a, a small fortune in real estate. He was successful in other small business ventures prior. Now, at the time that I first was introduced to Robert Kiyosaki, one of the things he was talking about is real estate. Well, in this stage of the game, a massive amount of debt that we're incurring in the country, it doesn't really make financial sense to be purchasing real estate if you're somebody that is currently holding no assets or little assets. And again, he points out he got in a lot of trouble with a lot of realtors in the real estate industry stating that your home is not an asset, and it really isn't. It's a liability. It's an asset for the bank. If you foreclose, they get that asset back. That's what you're using as security. But with the cash flow quadrant, when you look at that as a square, everybody looks at this and says, well, I'm going to make more money as an employee, and then when I have some money left over, I'm going to buy some property, buy some assets. Or when I'm self-employed, when I have enough money saved up, I'm going to buy some real estate or get into some investments. And the same with the business. Okay. With that mindset, that never happened. Challenge everybody that's listening to this right now. Everybody thinks that someday they're going to be a real estate mogul. Well, how much real estate have you purchased so far in the past 10 years, in the past 5 years? Chances are real estate hasn't hit its bottom yet, so it doesn't really make sense to go out and try to aspire to purchase real estate or borrow money to purchase real estate. If you didn't do it in the subprime mortgage era, then you might as well forget about it quite a while. The only asset right now that makes any sense, the only undervalued asset out there that the average person can afford, is gold and silver. So you should be thinking as an investor first, or thinking at that quadrant first, and then looking at the E, the S, and the B, and how you can use those areas, the E, the S, and the B, to facilitate the I. And once you understand what money is and how undervalued gold and silver is, you will make better decisions as an employee, as somebody who's self-employed, and somebody who's a business owner. What I mean is that once you understand the upside potential that gold and silver has right now, how undervalued it is, 200 to 1, 400 to 1 through paper assets. It's the only thing that you can purchase right now that is undervalued 200 times to paper, physical to paper. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, of all the things that you're purchasing in your house, your golf, I'm looking at my flat screen, I'm looking at my workout equipment, my golf clubs, furniture, skis, computers. There's nothing else that I can purchase that is undervalued 200 to 1, meaning that it's really worth 200 times what I'm paying for it. There's nothing. Okay. So it would only make sense that I purchase more of that asset or that item, because at some point there's going to be a correction. So the challenge is coming up with the money to buy that asset. So let's say I'm an employee. All right. Have I taken enough exemptions where I'm getting my money, increasing my paycheck because they're withholding less taxes? so that I can use that excess right now to buy gold and silver rather than getting a big tax return. My tax return should not be my savings plan in which I get this lump sum of money that I have to turn around and, to take a vacation or to buy something stupid. I should increase my exemptions right now so that I have the extra money to purchase more gold and silver. As a self-employed individual, same thing. There are tax deductions by opening additional home-based businesses. Let's say there's deductions that I can take to withhold more, keep more, put more money in my pocket to obtain more gold. So there's different strategies that you should be. Once you have the mindset of a micro banker and you've already purchased some gold and silver and you realize how undervalued it is, your spending and tax strategies change or will change once you've changed your mentality to thinking that the I is at the top of the pyramid or the I comes first. So, and you'll look at business opportunities the same way. What's going to pay me the highest commission? What's going to give me the most return with the fewest people? That puts me in that position where I can start acquiring more gold and silver faster.